All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So, Jonathan Cain, I think, ends up being the most politically savvy member of the band Journey, as I suspected. And this dates back to my time where I was starting this channel and I was in the midst of a Journey meltdown between Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon. For those of you who have been with me for all that time, you remember my crazy rants out in the backyard and so forth. And I was a bit unhinged. And at times I shot my mouth off way too much and wasn't really sure how to do what I'm doing now. And some days I'm still really not sure of it. But there was a big argument going on between Jonathan Cain and Neil Schon. And, you know, after, I guess, understanding both of those guys a little better, I figured, hey, you know, it's a rock band. You've got personalities. Those personalities sometimes clash. You've got political views out there. I think John and Neil probably disagree a little bit on politics, but maybe Neil has become a little bit more neutral because of what he's seen over the past couple of years. He's wanted to get this band off the ground for a long time. Their first single from last summer was basically an ode to going back to 2019. And who was president in 2019? Holy crap, Batman, are you supposed to say that out loud? It was just going back to normal. And we still haven't gotten there. Jonathan Cain, who released his own faith-based solo album last month, or back in late May, since we're in July now, technically it's more than a month ago, has made some interesting statements about the way things have become here in the United States. And I think Jonathan Cain nails it. And I'm glad somebody is speaking out and doing so in a way that people can understand. Cain, who wrote and recorded Arise during the Thing-demic, tells an interviewer that the project reflects his general unhappiness with the direction the United States has been going in recent years. Now, the interviewer, right, can bend this and make the audience think that, yeah, the recent few years dating back to 2016, right, which isn't true. Remember, Jonathan Cain's wife, who runs the Destiny Christian Church, or New Destiny, I'm not sure the name of it, but it is a very popular church in Apopka, Florida. Some people do not like Jonathan Cain's wife. I have defended her in some ways, and at other times I've said some stuff that I probably shouldn't have said about her. You know, I've gone back and forth with it, and overall, I'm kind of neutral now. But I do think, you know, promoting the gospel, talking about Jesus, yeah, that's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. You may not like the theology or the style of the church. Okay, all right, I can understand that. But here's the deal. Jonathan Cain seems like a very happy, well-adjusted person who now has found his true calling. And so he puts out this solo album. He's a little bit, shall I say, miffed at the way things are going lately. He again goes on and says, I sort of landed on a revival theme, like an awakening, a call to prayer, a call to standing for freedom and standing for the church. And, you know, we had our freedoms diminished during the lockdown. Yeah, thank you. Amen, brother. Preach it, right? And I think everybody had to face the fact that the government can get in the way, and churches need to stand up and say no. And a lot of them did. A lot of them didn't, though. That's the sad thing. While the themes of his spiritual songs and the tunes he writes for Journey may differ, Jonathan says there's a common thread between the two. He says, I try to put melodies that go somewhere and lyrics that say something. Contrary to what the music is out today, he notes. Oh, that's a weird sentence. Contrary to what the music is out today. So I'm thinking he's meaning that most of the music that's out today doesn't put the melodies and the lyrics together. I like it. He's cutting down what needs to be cut down. He's a veteran. He's at least, 70, 71 years old. I don't know how old Jonathan Cain is. I know he just turned 70 recently, but time flies and then you lose track. And then he's all of a sudden, he's like 72 or something. People underestimate how important Jonathan Cain was to that Journey explosion with Escape and Frontiers and Raised on Radio. And even the comeback album, Trial by Fire, his keyboard playing on that was just breathtaking. He's got this classical influence that every so often really shows itself. And he's a really strong keyboard player, and he plays rhythm guitar. And vocally, I think he sounds better than he has sounded. I think he's become a better vocalist over time. And he sings all the songs on his latest project. I thought his duet with Michael Tate from the Newsboys, Wonder of Wonders, was a real high point for him musically. And to have Michael Tate along for the ride, who is, just huge in the world of Christian music, I really thought he was going to break through on Christian radio. But you got a couple of older guys. Michael Tate, obviously not as old as Jonathan Cain, but I don't know. The Newsboys, they're not the same band they used to be. If you follow the Newsboys, they used to be this all Australian thing back in the 90s, right? And they were just fantastic, that incarnation of the band. They became a completely different band. It was like DC Newsboys, if you know about DC Talk. It was just like, some of us liked it, and some people were like, yeah, that's not the Newsboys. But they made some pretty good music, for sure, with Michael Tate. And I thought that was pretty cool that they worked together and they cut that track. But in any event, Journey's album comes out soon. You've got Jonathan Cain's out, already. And then you've got Dean Castronovo working with a project called Generation Radio, featuring Jason Scheff and some other really top-notch musicians. So there's a lot to kind of absorb if you're a fan of Journey and the family tree that goes out there. But here's the deal. The most important part of this is that Cain is actually pushing back against what pretty much everybody else in this business says every single day about every topic. He doesn't like the direction the country is going. And he isn't talking about the guy who was president back in 2019. He's not talking about that guy. And yes, I am well aware that his wife was a spiritual advisor for the former president, not the current one, that's for sure. The current one needs a lot of spiritual help, a ton of spiritual help, and I don't think he seeks any of it. I think he gets his advice from some very nefarious characters, but who knows? I have no idea. All I know is that Jonathan Cain seems to get it. And as a fan of Journey, and I guess I'm kind of a fan of his solo music and his life story, which is pretty interesting, that's for sure. Good for him. Good for him. Good for somebody for actually speaking out on these topics, because everybody else just cowers in silence and goes along with the narrative. It's boring. Speak out about something. I mean, it's not like Jonathan Cain is going to lose his fortune, right? His name is on that Don't Stop Believing single. You may have seen the 45 floating around. His name is on that. So I think he's financially set. So, no matter what he does moving forward, I don't think it's really going to matter if he says what he truly believes. And I wish more of these people would actually say this kind of stuff. But the problem is many of them just don't believe it. So you know what I say about Jonathan Cain and his viewpoint? Don't stop believing, Jonathan. Just keep on keeping on. All right, that's my lame video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Patreon for $1 a month, $2 a month, $100 a month. You do $4 a month in honor of July 4th, right? Yeah, maybe not. $1 a month in honor of July 1st. All right, I'm done, folks. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.